And good morning. This is Sunday, September 15th, 2024. I'm Ann Metcalf, and welcome to my Sunday morning conscious eating, conscious living chat. We've been talking about fashion textiles for the last several weeks now, probably almost 2 months. And I thought I was done with the silkworm, but then cashmere came across. So what's cashmere wool? And I know there are others. There's other animals. There's alpaca, and there's uh, different kinds of animals where we're getting some of our fabrics from. Anyway, so the cashmere will be the last one for our little chat um, for today, and then I'll maybe go to other sort of conscious eating, conscious living topics. And so, have you ever owned a cashmere sweater or a pashmina shawl? And were you aware that these are made from goat wool? I wasn't. I had the notion that cashmere was this elegant, expensive um, fabric, but was unaware of its source or in present day the environmental impact that these grazing goats have. Cashmere comes from a specific breed of goat. Originally from Kashmir, the goat is called the uh, Chengtangi goat, as it's found in the Chengtang area of Ladakh in northern um, Kashmir, sort of India, that whole northern region, and sort of along the Himalayan range as well, where production began in the 13th century. Nowadays, larger quantities and several different breeds of Kashmir goats are raised in Mongolia in larger quantities. And this variety, however, carries an expensive price tag, ranging from as low as $40 to as high as $2,400. What makes these goats unique is the result of thousands of years of evolution in a cold, high altitude climate across the Himalayas, as resulting in two layers of fine hairs that protect the goats in minus 40-degree temperatures. Goats don't have much fat, and the inner undercoat keeps them warm. This wool coat is shed naturally in the spring, like a welcome back scratch against a tree or a rock. And early weavers would collect these pieces and weave it into a soft, fine cloth. Modern weavers now use either a combing process or shaving or shearing to obtain the goat hairs. And more on that in a minute. Cashmere goats produce less wool than sheep, which makes it a rarer fiber, requiring more goats to produce the garment. A majority of goat wool for clothing comes from four main breeds. Among them are the Pashmina goat, the Australian Cashmere goat, the Inner Mongolia Cashmere goat, and the Chinese Cashmere goat. These days, cashmere wool is mainly produced in China, but there's still a thriving cottage cashmere economy within the Central Asian nations and Australia, which I wasn't aware of. Cashmere production continues to increase with world population and the reduction of poverty, and it's likely that China will remain the main exporter of cashmere for the foreseeable future. Let's look at the processes used. Goat wool is either sheared or hand combed. One issue I found was that shearing can cause nicks and cuts, which painful and sort of a health issue for the goat. I imagine sort of the use of clippers for shearing as they do with sheep. However, some farmers use a huge knife. Although sheared wool takes more time to clean and separate the fibers, cleaning is done next, and then combing and spinning. One pashmina goat yields 60 to 500 grams, depending on their size or their general productivity and maybe the age. The wool is obtained once a year in the spring season. Now, what are the issues such as circularity and sustainability, environment, and animal safety? Now, here's what I found. Some shearing is done in the winter when the goats need the most protection. Goats normally live 12 years, but when farmed, only 4 to 5 years. and then sold for meat. Some sources reported cruel treatment of these animals. One source reported that 65% of Mongolia's biodiverse grasslands have disappeared due to goats eating the roots of plants as they graze. China, considered to be the future of cashmere wool production, is rapidly increasing goat herds. According to Gama Densambu, 90% of this degraded rangeland can be recovered naturally within 10 years if we change current management. If we don't change today, it will be too late in 5 or 10 years from now. As the grasslands are disappearing, other grazing animals are also negatively impacted. Raising goats for cashmere is endangering wild animals like snow leopards, wild yaks, Bactrian camels, and gazelles due to the expanding grazing land needs for cashmere goats. On the bright side, the world economy is gradually moving towards fair trade and sustainable textile manufacturing processes, combined with the latest standards in organic, cruelty-free manufacturing processes. Cashmere is a fabric that will continue to have a lasting impact on the evolution of 21st century textile commerce. And that's if we kind of get it right with the whole circularity process. An alternative to cashmere. In Nepal, over 16 years ago, I bought a yak wool scarf during a trek up to the Mount Everest base camp with Summits of Hope. Yaks are gentle grazers, living up to 25 years. Nomadically roaming Tibet's plateaus and mountains, they graze only on the tops, they graze the tops of the plants, leaving the roots untouched, allowing faster regeneration. In addition, yaks produce much more fiber. It's called kulu, called yak down, shorn with scissors and not sheared. For every 5 cashmere goats, you only need 1 yak. In comparison, when looking at plant materials, tencel is far more sustainable than viscose and modal. When looking at wool, kulu is a sustainable alternative to cashmere. The challenge you face as a conscious living consumer is determining the circularity the cashmere clothing is. What is that circularity? The conundrum seems to know how the goat's hair was removed and the treatment of the goat at once after 4 years. Then it gets used as meat. I hope I've given you some information about the many sources of our clothing so that you can make more informed, conscious choices. At the very least, you can start researching. Think about where the materials come from, how they are made, how they impact the earth, and what you are doing to allow the global demand for material to exist without compromising sustainability. When you order and wear clothes, ask questions when you go shopping. How informed are the sellers? Think of your questions as sparks to ignite further questions. Thanks for listening. Namaste. And check out my app, Authentic Sacred Design, where I'll be posting these chats, and have a look around my app. You'll find daily quotes and inspirational notes, rise and shine activities to kickstart your day, videos on healthy eating and conscious living. And put your comments on the Facebook page, or you can contact me at Rosie's Joy, ROSIESJOY 11 at gmail.com. Have a beautiful day, and remember to smile often and let your heart smile. Thank you, and just have a wonderful day. And enjoy. Be with your family, go outside for a walk, and love the life that you have. Until next time.